You love your friends, but they may be wrecking your finances. Whether it's silent peer pressure, lending money, or just trying to bring them along as you grow financially. This is a conversation I don't hear a lot, but everyone needs. If you've ever been in a situation where you've said yes to something that your budget said no to just because of friendships, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Tamara, and whether you've been here before or this is your first time, I'm grateful that you're watching. We talk about budgets and saving tips, but not enough about how our circle influences our financial future. Because sometimes it's not the numbers that are holding you back, it's actually the people. So let's unpack it in this video. Here's the first point. Financial peer pressure is real. When I was going to school, teachers talked about peer pressure, guidance counselors talked about peer pressure, my parents talked to me about peer pressure, but I didn't really think that peer pressure was something that would extend into adulthood, but it absolutely does. It's not always loud, right? This is something that can be very subtle. It's having to go to the birthday dinners. It's having to go on the impromptu shopping sprees, or maybe the vacation or the girls' night out or the girls' trip. And you may go along because you don't want to seem cheap. You may not want to be left out of the circle. I mean, that's a real thing. You don't want to feel like, everybody else is having fun and you're not there. You want to participate. But every unplanned yes will chip away at your financial peace and possibly your financial future. It's almost like keeping up with the group chat is the new keeping up with the Jones. Now with the group chat, when everybody's saying, hey, let's go to dinner, hey, let's go on a trip to the Dom Rep or to Jamaica, you may want to be a part of that. And it may be difficult to keep up with that kind of a thing. Now, here's a solution. If you know you want to be able to do things with your circle, go ahead and just create a monthly fund budget. At least this way, you'll be able to set some boundaries around what you can afford and try to stick to that. Now, if you have a great group of friends that's understanding, you can just tell them that this particular thing that everybody's wanting to do is just not in your budget right now, right? And if they're your real friends, they'll understand. Or you could suggest budget-friendly alternatives. This is something that I did with my group of friends. I had a great group of friends. We all knew that we were trying to save money. So sometimes we did go out and we had fun. And there were other times we just went to one of our apartments and we would cook for each other and we had a good time that way too. So hopefully you're in a good circle where this can be an alternative. Point number 2. Lending to friends can cost more than just the money. Lending when you can't afford it or out of guilt creates tension, whether or not they pay you back. If they don't pay you back, it creates a sort of resentment, right? That you feel and you carry every time you're interacting with them. And if they do pay you back, you've already had the emotional suffering because you may not have been able to do this in the first place. According to LendingTree, 31% of Americans have lent money to a friend that they did not get back. Sometimes you're going to have to protect the friendship by protecting your finances. Here's my solution. I have a rule. Do not lend more than what you can do without. If you know you can't do without that amount of money, you probably should not be lending it. It's just going to create too much anxiety. If it's money you really need, you're going to be worried about when you're going to be able to get it back. And if you don't get it back, then it may create financial hardship for you. Just don't do it. You should not pressure yourself to lend money that you just can't afford. So maybe what you can do is shift from lending money to offering some kind of a support, which may be giving some advice or maybe pointing your friend to other resources that could help them with their situation. Number 3, not everyone shares your financial goals. I think we know this, but of course, when you have friends, you want to have good relationships. You want to be able to get along with everyone. Now, you must recognize that some people may just be living for now. They may believe in you only live once, and that's okay. But you may be building for financial freedom for yourself, for your children, or maybe just peace of mind. And when your goals don't match with your friends, your choices are not going to match either. And that may create some friction. You should not have to explain your financial discipline every time to your friends who may not be dreaming or have goals that are aligned to yours. Here's what you can do. If you have a good group of friends, you can go ahead and explain your why. The reasons why you're making the decisions you're making, the reasons why you may not be participating in the things that they're wanting to do that may be expensive for you. I would only do this though if those friends are really close and you trust them. That way they will be able to understand it. And like I say, if they're good friends, then they're going to support you on that journey. I recommend surrounding yourself with people who are on a similar financial journey. What I mean by that is people who will normalize saving, wealth building. So you don't feel like you're the odd one out all the time. You'll have somebody that you can talk to that has the same goals. So you'll have good conversations around it and you won't have to explain yourself. And even if all your friends aren't aligned financially with you, it really boils down to surrounding yourself with people who just respect your path, even if that path is different from theirs. Number 4, you cannot drag people into success. When you start growing, especially financially, it's going to be natural for you to want to bring your friends along with you. These friends maybe have been your friends since childhood, or they've supported you in different ways and you want to look out for them, and nothing is wrong with that. But remember that forcing financial growth on someone who is not ready is just going to drain you emotionally and maybe financially as well. You can share what you're doing with them. You can support them with their dreams and just encourage them, on their journey, but don't become their emotional or financial crutch, because that's just going to drag you down. Some of you are going broke trying to keep a friendship that just cannot survive financial boundaries. You have to know the difference between, offering that encouragement and inspiration and what might be too much of a codependency that's unhealthy. Number 5, boundaries are not betrayal. Saying, I can't do that this month, or that's not in my budget, is not being a bad friend. Real friends will respect where you're going. They'll respect your goals. They'll encourage you. They'll support you if they're real friends. Takers are going to always guilt you for trying to stay disciplined with your goals. Any real friendship is going to be able to survive the truth. And that's really what you should be aiming for. Number 6, your circle shapes your ceiling. Who you spend time with is going to ultimately determine what feels normal to you. And if nobody in your circle is talking about having a positive financial journey, having financial stability, having financial freedom, your goals may feel extreme when really they're not. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, you push each other. You're going to challenge each other. You're going to share information with each other that's going to make you even better. And it helps to protect the direction that you want to go in. I have been fortunate to have great groups of friends. And when we were younger, in our 20s, we were talking about saving for a down payment for a house, and we were all excited about it. And when the first person in our circle bought a house, we were excited for that person. And each of us was working hard to make sure we could also achieve that dream for ourselves. That's the kind of circle that you want to have to encourage you. And as we grew, all of us in our careers, we were talking about investing. When one of us invested in something that was a good investment, they would share it with the rest of us. And we would also invest if that's what we wanted to do. Protecting your peace may mean limiting access to you. So here's a solution. I think the rain is falling. Oh my. All right, so let me just finish this video real quick. Here's a solution. You're gonna have to audit your environment. Take a look at the people who are in your circle. Who's supportive? Who's stretching you? Who's encouraging you? Versus who are the ones that you feel are creating too much mental stress for you. You may have to make a decision about the ones that are not impacting you positively. Last one, number 7, be careful where you go to for advice. Everyone is going to have an opinion, but not every opinion is rooted in wisdom or experience. If you are not careful, some people talk you out of your goals just because they can't achieve theirs. Friends who may not be financially secure may often project fear, not necessarily facts. And when you're interacting with them, when you're asking them for advice, you really may not get good advice just because of that bias that they have because of what's going on in their own life and their own mentality. Just taking money advice from somebody who may be struggling financially or bitter about money or bitter about life as a whole may not be the wisest thing. Even well-meaning friends can steer you incorrectly, right? Not necessarily out of spite, but just because they may not know better because they have not experienced the thing that they're advising you on. Here's a solution for this. You're going to have to filter advice. Ask yourself, is this person experiencing the results that I want? Try to get advice from people who are where you want to be, or at the very least on the path to getting where you want to be. Now, quick question before we close. Have you had to set a financial boundary with a friend? Or have you felt pressure to try to keep up with your friends? If so, drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. If this video has brought you any value, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.